Muy buenas noches, Jason. Gracias por estar en el canal. Bienvenidos. Bueno, yo la verdad, hemos visto la película y la verdad nos ha encantado, nos ha fascinado. Le quiero preguntar, ¿hay segunda parte? Porque esto va para segunda parte, pero también la música. La música es algo que atrapa.
Yo te hago una pregunta, John, antes de la... ¿Por qué atrapa? Porque ahorita estaba hablando y me dijo, la música es lo que más le gustó a las personas de México. ¿Por qué?
Tiene un sentido de, no sé, el tema melódico, el tema, o sea, suave, hace que se sienta uno como en la
Nostalgia.
época pasada, no sé.
Yes. You guys, you know that I was asking something to John because, yeah, John is asking two questions that I think all the people that had watched it had. So I will start with the first one. There will be a sequel because, man, one part is not enough. Tell us.
Yeah, we're hoping to get more out of this for sure. We see the opportunity for sequels. We see the opportunity for prequels. We see the opportunity for comic books. We see the opportunity for a series. Yeah, we think it's a massive world. And from the start, the idea when Jack arrives, we don't pick it up in this film till 50 years later. So there's a whole story of him becoming this PI that we don't know about, this detective. There's this whole story of Flo arriving and then becoming the head of the Deadheads that we don't know about. And then, there's all these other gangs that Jack has taken down that we don't know about. So there is a massive universe that we would absolutely love to explore.
Totally. Hopefully you felt that when you were watching the movie. Like there's world beyond the movie before and after, and we were thinking about even the character names, those origin stories behind why is Plater named Plater. So we have a whole backstory for that set up already. We hint at the original Jack and Flo story when they were back on Earth. So yeah, like Brett said, there's just, and even at the end where we see all the sort of other previous gang jackets hanging in the closet, those are other gangs that over the years Jack has taken down. So what are they about? So what were their stories? So yeah, we wanted to build that into the entire filming as well, so that when the audience is watching Purgatory Jack, they feel that world beyond.
Yeah, and then for afterwards, now he can take on the villains in this universe with his daughter, who is clearly a badass as well. So there's that going forward, and also the other going backwards.
And after I do the other question, man, not only comics, I need a video game. I need a freak, all the idea, the iCore, and I cannot imagine like walking with jazz in a world like that in a video game. I really love it. And the second question, like we were talking, John and of course myself love the music, and I know not only us we love the music. I know you guys really kick it hard on Mexico, on Macabro. People love the music. Why, man? Yes, John. I asked John, is for the nostalgics, but why do you think the people is loving the freaking music of this movie?
Yeah, Brett and I actually talked about that afterwards because we were, like I was mentioning to you, we were ecstatic and super happy because one of the things we like to do is feature Canadian music that we think is really good and really hasn't gotten its sort of reputation and popularity as much as it should have. So it was very exciting to get that feedback. But I think the reason the music really works so well is without even hearing the words to the songs, it really reflects the emotions and actions that are happening at that time. And it wasn't, and we pull in from different genres of music and different eras of music, which sort of, again, expands the universe of Purgatory in that regard and lets people know like this has been going on for a long time. So I think that's why it responds. The tonally to the action that's happening, I think is a really good fit.
Yeah, and I think the it's really cool. The band Rough Trade, who is the writer and lead singer, Carol Pope, she was big in the 70s and early 80s, just in Toronto, and is kind of like a feminist icon, kind of a queer leader of her time, but didn't really expand out of the the country too much. So it was a real inspiration for the character of Vivacious as well. So I think it really ties into the character, the music, and we hope all the other music that's played kind of ties into each character that it's around. So like when Flo is introduced, it's kind of this 70s rock and roll style, you know, and when Jack's introduced, it's this 20s jazz style. So I think that can really hook into the feelings of the audience and the characters.
Yeah, it seems to be working so far.
I need to search one song specifically. I don't know if in Spotify or YouTube, but what is the name of the metal song? There is like a metal, really like, I don't know if it group metal or that. I need to know it, man. I really love metal, so tell me.
We'll get you that. That is from a very local band from where we were filming up in North Bay, Ontario, which is about 3 hours north of Toronto. So it gets really cold in the winters up there. But that's where we were filming at an old missile site that's been decommissioned. That was for the Cold War. So that's where the band's from, and they're just a local band. And our sound designer said, "I know the perfect song for right here in the truck. I know these guys." So we'll get the name of the band because they're that unknown, they're that obscure, but it's really good. You're not the first person to bring it up. That's great.
You have to congratulate the sound designer, man, because I really love that tune. Jhon, ¿tienes preguntas?
Sí.
Jhon, antes de preguntar, adivina. Eso era una base militar de la guerra donde se grabó.
Qué buen dato. ¿Tienes algo que preguntarle a los hermanazos Butler?
Okay, Jhon is asking me if I got questions, but more than questions, I really want to talk with you guys because, like, it's really difficult to tag this movie, to catalog it. I was watching it with these two friends. There was, okay, is it a western or is it a dystopia? Is it a blood comedy? Is it body horror? How can you name this kind of movie? And by the way, really love because when we were watching it, they were, oh my god, this really got cool backgrounds, a really good photography, really cool gadgets. So like or no, this is not a cheap movie. No, there is a really beautiful movie. Do it with lots. So tell us more. How can we tag this movie, catalog it?
To tag it, I think it's definitely it's a genre mashup, and that's what we kind of wanted to do going in, and that was kind of building this world where you have characters from all sorts of different decades and lifetimes, and could be centuries old there. So that was kind of the idea of going into the film. Our main idea, though, was a graphic novel feel. So a very comic book panel, and something that, you know, it feels like it's art, that each picture is like each frame is a piece of art. So, you know, working with our production designer and our director of photography, you know, there was a lot of prep work. And when watching the movie, I think you can feel that because there's not a lot of the shots are just on sticks. You know, they're just there. The action's happening in front of it. And there's not many, compared to most films today, there's not many edits. You know, so you get to actually feel the frame as opposed to a lot of stuff you see today where it's cut. And you don't get to feel the design, feel the world. We really wanted you to feel the world in this. So I think we were at like half the edits as a traditional feature film right now.
And I think as well for Purgatory, our whole vision of the idea of Purgatory was that even the people are in Purgatory themselves, but so are the things. So like everything's rusty and burnt out, stuff that never worked in the real world are there. So that's why all the sort of the machinery they use is always kind of old and crusty and put together in strange ways. So I think, you know, having this sort of these ideas and then passing it along to our design team, they sort of embraced that concept as well. So it was it's fun, and just building on the concept of neo-noir, you know, a reinvention of the noir genre. So we know we liked the lighting of noir films, but we also like the dark humor and the style and the way they talk. So what can we do to sort of elevate that and make it our own? And it was really fun. It was just, let's have some fun doing it. Let's create it. We're making up our own rules.
Yeah, we always like infusing, no matter how maybe dark or in depth we go with the story, but infuse it with comedy. And we always find that's a good way to break down the inhibitions of an audience to tell a deeper story with deeper meaning.
And before I let my friend talk, man, you're right with the photography, because when I was watching it, one of the friends told me, "Oh, it's really strange. She's a photographer, because I see really, why like the full frame, not close up." And she was telling me, this is weird, because what you expect to be, close ups, or no, it's like very quiet facing. And later she was like, wow, no, I really enjoying that, to see the full frame, to see the whole. And I was like, yeah, no, that's the reason
Good.
why I'm
Great.
loving it. John,
Yeah,
pregunta porque sé que
that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. You
Jhon,
spend
¿tienes
all
una
the time
preguntota?
building this world and building these sets. You want to show them off too, and not cut into these close-ups. Like, feel this world. And I think that's that differentiates the storytelling.
It also works. The actors really enjoy that as well. So they know that, because some actors, they'll save themselves just for like the close-ups, and they won't give necessarily that same performance. But we tell them, like, this is going to be just a 2-shot, or this is going to be like a long take. This is the one. So they're giving really good performances, and we're locking it down like that, and then we're drawing the audience in. So I think the actors love it, the cinematographer loves it, and we love making films like that. So it's how we like to do things.
John, haz esa pregunta.
Yo le quiero preguntar sobre cuál escena en la que el personaje de Tina impactó y pues de Alexandra. Pero antes quiero preguntarle, ¿en cuál película del oeste se inspiraron? Yo la verdad lo vi por una inspiración, no sé, yo lo vi por la línea de vinieron 4 para matar a Sartana.
What is the scene that most strikes you? He is mentioning the two main characters, but I really want to add something, because I love all the performance. Not only about we can say heroes, because they're anti-heroes, but what I really love the villains, the bad women and bad boys. My friends were telling me, wow, what a great cast. But what is the scene that most struck you? Because yeah, they did really cool actings. And later I do another question that John needs to know. But first, with the actor and actress.
Sorry,
Okay.
what was what's exactly the question, Andres?
What is the no? I'm from John. What is the scene that most struck you, like impact you, with the performances of the full cast, man? Like, oh, they are bringing it on, because they are great.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, I think that impacted one of the big moments. I know for me was when Laura Burke as Gloria came on board in the film, and she was just on set for 2 days. She's at the end in Studio 27, and these are like very, very intense scenes she's bringing, as just finding out that her dad is Jack and been living in purgatory, and then she finds out that her mom's there, and that she's has all these things going on. But as an actor, as a performer, coming in and having this very centralized time, and being so powerful and impactful in the movie, when she's really only on screen, I think, for, I don't know, what did you say, Jay, like 5-7 minutes, I think? Like,
I think around 8 minutes.
Time, but,
yeah. And for me personally,
yeah,
I really sorry, Brett.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I just remember, like, we were really blown away by her performance, and we're like, we got it. And she was like, I want to do more takes. And we're like, you're so good. You're bringing tears to our eyes. You're bringing goosebumps on us. We got it. We got the performance. And but yeah, she just wanted to keep playing. So that was cool. But we got it in the can.
Yeah. She told us too, the way she gets into character was that she would think of the Bon Jovi song, "Blaze of Glory." So that was her like pump up song before every take, because they were big scenes. So that was funny too. We're like, how do you get that way? So that was great. I really loved Joel Thomas Hines' Plater, and I really liked the scene when Jack confronts him in the hospital, and he's just kind of like hanging there, and his eyes are just popping. You know, he has the popping, and he's just so malicious, and he just really takes his time with the words and to tell this story to Jack. It was great to watch and very intense. In fact, I think what happened, Brett? We did Joel's side of things first, and then we cut for lunch. And Joel was still coming back from lunch. He was just like drained from doing it. But for me, I really enjoy watching that one, and the way he works his eyes that whole time, and his mouth just moving. So good, so good.
Yeah, and one of the cool things I remember is obviously casting Tim as Jack, and then having, we were super stoked, and meeting him and talking to him was awesome. He's a great guy, and when he came on set, he absolutely just knew the character. He had his voice pattern down. He knew what to do. But I remember it was like the second day, we had the massive day. We were shooting scenes with him and Viv in his apartment, which was like 10 pages, tons of dialogue, and they just killed it. But it was great. Right previously, we were shooting the opening dance sequence, and we knew this was going to be for the opening credits. And we were sitting around talking, because he was like, what am I doing while I'm dancing? And we came up with the idea that he asked his wife, he's envisioning his wife, asking his wife that he never, that he left so long ago, to dance. And it was like, we were sitting behind camera, and he did that, and we watched him dance with his imaginary woman at that point, and it was just so gorgeous. And we're like, yes. So it was immediate. That was like second day seeing him dance like that. We were like, yes, we got to film here. This is going to be good.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, Jhon got another question. I will do it. But yeah, man, what a really great villain. And my friend was telling me that guy is scary, even hanging there. But Jhon is a really big fan of Western. In fact, he always surprised me. And he's not only asking you in which Western maybe you aspire, because Jhon felt that this movie, remember him for Kane to Kill Santana.
Oh, really? Wow. That's great. I don't know what to say to that, Brett. That's great. Go ahead.
Yes, no, for me, when I was watching it, for me, it's like the most closest thing to watch like a neo-noir Japanese, like, Takashi Miike or Sion Sono, here in this part of the world. But but not like a reinvention, because this movie doesn't feel like they're copying a movie. No, it feels so fresh, so new.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we were going for, original. Because we love movies. That's why we got into making movies. So sometimes we're making direct references, and sometimes we're just drawing from stuff that we don't even know, because we've watched so many movies and have so much just floating around, and it just kind of forms together in its own sort of original idea. But I think it's so important, casting, and we worked with Joel in the past, and we gave him a sort of an early preview of the script, and he's like, guys, I love it. And we just think he's so interesting as an actor, and he's got a very dark sense of humor himself. So he really sort of gets what we're trying to achieve, and he also has sort of his own spin on things as well. So that's what we're always excited as directors, when we get to see the actors play with each other and bring their own stuff, because they have their own influence as well. I'm sure he probably has an idea of some famous performance that he'd like to sort of incorporate into his performance. So you're drawing from so many things, and ultimately, hopefully, it feels original and distinct. And we think we did that. Like, even with the big cod piece he's wearing down around his waist. You know, that was a, you know, I think once Joel put that on, he really understood where the character was coming from. He said as much to us. At first, when he saw it, he was like, guys, that's bigger than I thought. And we're like, yeah, try it on. Just try it. Just see how it goes. If you don't like it, you know, we'll talk to costume and maybe figure something out. But as soon as he put it on, you could see the change in him. He felt it. He knew exactly what he wanted to do after that. So little touches like that, I think, really make a difference.
Yeah, I think you said there was saw a maybe inspiration from westerns. I think that's really cool to hear, and that's, you know, there's something about westerns with they do their very wide vista shots, and their pacing is very deliberate and different than modern films. And that's definitely something that we went for, and kind of our touchstone, and that stuff was more the kind of 70s detective, like a Chinatown. We were thinking about that, but we're also thinking about kind of the 80s style filmmaking, like The Warriors and Streets of Fire. Again, it's kind of always going with this, taking all the influences, because we've had as the longer you're alive, the more movies you get to watch, and the more inspiration and the more kind of influences. But it was never like an exact, like, we want to do this, but just take all the influences in and allow that to breathe out on the paper and on the screen. I mean, when Jay and I were trying to get funding for this, the biggest thing everybody said, because, you know, there wasn't a lot of money that we could go after, but it was always like, this is such an ambitious film for the budget. How are you guys going to do it? And we're just like, well, I mean, that's the magic, but I mean, it's all preparation. How you prepare to do it, prepare your team to do it. And I think we got there.
And I'm happy that you mentioned Streets of Fire, because we got the loot to interview Michael Paré here, and he was doing the interview with the poster of the Streets of Fire in the back. So Jhon shared the interview. Jhon comparte esa entrevista a Michael Paré. Es cierto que él tenía el póster de Calles de Fuego, ¿cierto?
Yes.
Y the area of the Cruisers, man. No,
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. We are talking.
No, you know what's going on.
Yeah, no. Imagine, we are some guys from Colombia, and Michael Paré is talking, and he was with these two posters, like hanging out. No, I really love my movies. Wow. Thank you, man. He take the picture with the posters, man, with Eddie and the Cruisers and Streets of Fires. For us was pure gold, and we will share you that interview, man. And of course, Jhon, we can share the interview to Michael Paré from them. Jhon, podemos compartir incluso a Michael esta entrevista, ¿cierto?
Por
Decir
favor.
que mencionamos.
Yes,
Por favor, yes, we will share.
Great. Awesome. Great.
Y que vengan todos los del cast y que sean.
Yes, and Jhon is saying that.
Fire and Eddie and the Cruiser so many times.
Wow. And Jhon is saying something really beautiful. The cast is welcome here also. They did a great job. No, man, that's really a beautiful movie. And I don't know if Jhon got more questions. Jhon dice que ellos vieron 4 veces esas películas. Eddie and the Cruisers y The Streets of Fire. Tienes que compartir. Pero bueno, ¿qué más preguntas tienes, amigo?
No, felicitarlo.
Yeah.
No.
Bravo.
Jason,
Yeah.
I will ask you something. Jhon, ¿hay tiempo? I will ask you something.
7 minutos.
Okay, we got 7 minutes. So first, we are going, the camera is yours, so you can tell your social media, and so people can follow about this movie. But how do you feel in Macabro? Because one friend of the channel won, the amazing Fabian Porte with Legiones. But I know that our friends from Mexico love the movie. So the camera is yours, but first, we're going to take a picture. Jhon, la foto.
Well, social media, that's you can find us at a bunch of places at Butler Bros without the E, so BUTLR BROS. And then our website is subprod.com, SUBPROD.com. That's for our production company, Substance Production.
And you can find Purgatory Jack Movie at Purgatory Jack Movie, and that's on Facebook and Instagram as well. Like you mentioned, Macabre was our first stop on hopefully what will be a long world tour. We're very encouraged by the fact that the Spanish community already has embraced it so much. That's fantastic. So, I mean, we're definitely hoping to screen down in South America, Colombia or Venezuela, anywhere in Central America. So as soon as we hear from that, we'll post online, let you guys know directly as well. And again, we're Spain, Portugal. We have a couple announcements coming up that we can't mention. So that's going to be great. So this is hopefully the start of a long time. And Macabro was wonderful. Mexico City, the National Cinemateca was beautiful. Beautiful. Have you guys been there before? It was just a great venue and a great audience that they got the references. They laughed. They didn't breathe at points. They had very interesting and intense questions afterwards, like you guys. And it's just fun to be around people of any culture that appreciate what you're doing and get it, because movies are universal. Language doesn't matter. It's the language of cinema. So we're so happy. We're so happy that it's translating around the world.
Yeah, it was such a awesome experience at Macabro, and the passion and the movie fans there was amazing, and it was very inspiring just to be around them, and like very like-minded people, like so into the movies. And it was great to hear these very passionate movie fans talk about how original the film was, and they wanted to keep talking about the film well after the Q&A, which was amazing. Anytime you make a film, you hope that it inspires conversation and it inspires people to want to watch the movie again. So I can't really think of a better way to start a screening process and putting the movie out there.
All I can say is that, without mentioning it, because I hope that this movie came here and I will watch it on a big screen. But that's the only thing I can say, and I hope I can get you that news that the movie came here, hopefully. But
love that. Would love that.
All right, we'll keep our fingers crossed for that for sure, and hopefully we'll come down and visit you guys personally. That would be great. That would be so much fun.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. John.
Jason, gracias por la oportunidad. Muy agradecido.
Right.
God bless you, man.
No, God bless you, man.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas
Have a good
gracias. And I hopefully Jad come back, man. We need Jad and the whole crew.
I agree. Spread the word. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Purgatory Jack.
Part 2. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
People here want your actual blood. You are a walking, talking block of dope and a handful of dead junkies looking for a reason to feel alive. Your itch is premium scratch here, doll.
Is she gone? I think so.